Hey, so today I am breaking out the crock pot just to use up some things that I have left over that need to get used up, like half an onion, half a box of vegetable stock. I have a jar that I've reused. You're going to start seeing this a lot. I reuse any glass jars that I get, and I am trying to get rid of all the plastic that I've been using. So this will end up being the storage vessel for like leftovers and stuff like that, as opposed to containers like this. This is probably what, half a box of like the standard instant rice box. I don't measure unless I have to. I don't like following recipes, so you'll notice I just kind of dump things in unless I'm baking, and depending on what I'm baking. So I just put that down in the bottom of my crock pot. Turn it on low, depending on how much you want to make. Obviously, depends on the size crock pot you're going to use. I don't even know how big of a crock pot this is. It's like the standard oval crock pot, feeds a family. Actually, I'm not going to put that in yet. I might pour that over everything. I do have half of a red onion. I've been cleaning my kitchen, so I moved things a little bit, and I'm trying to remember where everything is. And I washed my hands before I got started with this. I still do that at home. I've worked in food service before, so it's kind of become a habit. But I do it at home, even though I touch my hair, and like inside me, I'm like, I need to go wash my hands again because I just touched myself. But because I'm cooking for my family, I don't worry about it too much. But those are the kind of things that go through my head. I told you, I'm a hot mess in more areas than just like threw my hair up, didn't brush it, so it's not like perfect. Honestly, I'd rather, the top layer is a little slippery. Get that out there so I don't cut myself. And I'm cutting the onion in a way that they're kind of good-sized chunks, but they're not too big. I don't care with this dish how uniform the pieces are. If they're bigger pieces, my kids will pick them out. If they're smaller pieces, usually they eat them. So it's just kind of like a happy medium, and I'll eat whatever the kids pick out. So I just roughly chop this, chop it up. I mean, it's fairly uniform. I'm going to sprinkle that over the top of the rice. So the next thing I'm going to add is some diced tomatoes. I'm going to get my opener from underneath you. It's got basil, garlic, and oregano already in it. Sometimes I like getting the stuff that already has herbs added just because it helps me right from the start. And then I can just add more herbs as I go. I hate the sound of the can on the counter, so I hold it up while I open that up. I'm just going to spread it as evenly as possible across the top of the rice and the onions. And I'm just making a basic rice recipe. I'm not doing anything too complex. Sometimes if I don't have a can and I haven't soaked any, sometimes I'll soak beans, or I'll have a can of beans that I picked up. I usually don't have canned beans, but sometimes I end up with some, or family's just like, here, I got some extra stuff and I know you guys will eat them. Okay, I'll gladly take a can of kidney beans or something. But I'll soak them and put them in here. This is what it looks like right now. Just to kind of give you, being a vegetarian, I use veggie broth. Usually it's not something out of a box. Usually I will use veggie scraps, boil those, and make my own veggie stock. But again, it was given to me, so I was like, sure, I'm not going to say no. And I'm using that, so I poured that in. Sometimes you may be like, oh my goodness, that is a lot of water in there. Remember, there's rice in there. It's going to soak that up. It needs to. So I'm going to have that on low. It is 12:45 right now. So it is 2:30. I just checked the rice, stirred it up, added a cup of water, and then left it on low. My cat is scratching to bury her food. Don't mind the noise. So I just did that, and it smells really good. I did take a bite. Not that everything's done yet. The onion still needs to cook a little bit. The rice is just about perfect, but I added that cup of water and kept it cooking. So by the time I get home with the kids in the next hour, hour and a half, we can have a snack, or I can just turn it down, put it on warm, and leave it there until dinner time. I could even sprinkle some cheese on the top, let that melt down in the next hour or two after that until dinner time, and go from there. But we'll see what the kids want to do with it when they get home. All right, it is 3:30, just got home with the kids. Before I left, I actually added another cup of water to what was in here, and it looks so much better. There's still a little moisture down in the bottom, but not a lot. So I think next I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. I'll probably taste it. I am 90% sure I'm going to add more Italian style herbs like oregano. I might add a little parsley. I might add some celery. I don't know if I'm going to add any more basil, possibly. So let me get a taste in. I'm going to add some black pepper. I don't usually add salt to anything, so I won't add that unless I need it right at the final, like, ready to eat it stage. Yeah, let's add some stuff. So like I mentioned before, a lot of my herbs are in canning jars, but I do have like this big thing of garlic. I don't use it very often, honestly. I just have this basically for when I don't have any fresh. So I'm going to put a sprinkle of that across the top. Of course, a fresh oregano. Some parsley. Oh, it's not going to come out. So that I will have to open up. Looks like it wasn't broken down all the way. So I just rub my hands together to break down something that maybe wasn't broken down before it was put into the jar, like the parsley wasn't. Although it would break down when I stir it up. And celery. Some pieces have a bit of tuft left on them, stemmy pieces. Those I make sure I pull out as much as I can. By rubbing your hands together, rubbing it in your fingers, you can feel those tough pieces and get them out so they don't end up in your food. Just stir this up and see how it looks, how it smells, how it tastes. If I was making this for more than just my family, obviously I wouldn't eat off of this spoon, but since it's just for us, Good. Oh, that tastes very good. I actually want a hint more garlic. I'm feeling garlic tonight. Just another sprinkle over the top. And then and basil. I absolutely love basil. Give it a stir. Just smells 10 times better. Oh, that's good. Now I'm going to turn it down to warm. Cover timer back on, and it's ready whenever we want to eat. Crock-pot cooking makes cooking convenient, less time consuming, and just overall easier. If you want some excellent crock-pot recipes, make sure you click subscribe and you tap that bell. So when I post some, you'll know about it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.